Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our live stream. My name is Raul Sebasco II. I am the owner of Remote Foreign Labor Certification. I have here my mentor and also my father, Raul Guillermo Sebasco, Dr. Raul Sebasco. He is the owner of Perm Action. We're going to be speaking about labor certifications. Thank you so much for coming and supporting us on this beautiful Monday.
In
Um,
Miami, it's a little cold.
yes, yes,
Thank you for all these people joining us. I was the only Latin ex-government specialist for this program in Tallahassee, which is the capital of Florida, and the assessor of all the lawyers in Florida that used to work for labor certification or PERM program, which is the same thing. The labor certification is working in the United States for more than 75 years, but since 2008, it becomes in a PERM, P-E-R-M, Program Electronic Review Management. It's the same thing, but expedite. And we
yes,
do the whole presentation electronically to the Department of Labor in Atlanta, Georgia, which is the headquarter in the whole country. And of course, my son, he has a lot of experience, and I'm doing this for 6 years within the Department of Labor. And in my office, I'm for more than 30 years. So, where are you gonna put your family in the hands of who? When I'm doing the best of this program for many years, when I started here in Miami, there was nobody who can do it. That's why I have this advantage for so many years. Raul is gonna explain the whole process. So if
yes,
somebody's is getting fast, I'm gonna explain you a little bit more, and I'm gonna make some acclarations. Okay?
yes. So once again, my name is Raul Sebasco II. I'm the owner of Remote Foreign Labor Certification. I have been mentored by the best in the state of Florida, if not the entire country. He was, like he explained, he worked for the Department of Labor for 6 years. He found that he could become an agent and start sending files to Atlanta National Processing Center for the labor certifications. I am very grateful to have him in my life and also for him to be my mentor. Again, this program started in 1952 under the Immigration Nationality Act. So this has been going on for 74 years. And yes, it has changed. We used to send big stacks of envelopes and mail to the Department of Labor in Atlanta, but that has completely changed. Now it is PERM, Program Electronic Review Management. And wow, that's a blessing already, to say the least. Many people don't know about this program because paralegals and lawyers will say, well, let's just put you on a visa temporarily. Visas are temporarily. The labor certification is not temporary. It gives you direct access to permanent residency. You do your labor certification becomes certified, you immediately start filing your I-140 and your 485. Straight to permanent residence, correct? So what we do as an agency is we help the employer with their staffing needs while also having the ability to hire a foreign worker. The only reason why the employer would be able to hire a foreign worker for the future position, this is for a future position, and the only reason why the employer would be able to choose the foreign worker is if if a U.S. citizen is not able, well, let's just say lacks the requirement for the future work position.
We have to clarify that the only thing is doing the employer is to sign an offer of employment, which is the documentation that we can provide. If you wanna, we can. If you call us or you write to our email, we can send you the whole documentation needed for you and for your prospective employer. because the employer is going to sign an offer of employment. They don't have to sign any contract, which is absolutely comfortable from the point of view of employer, because he's not risking anything in terms of law. Also, they don't have to sign any affidavit of support in favor of you or your family, which is much more comfortable. They are not risking anything, and that's very important. If you contact your employer, we are able to, all the people who is here in this live, the contact with us is at no cost. So we are gonna take care of your case, and we are gonna interview also your prospective employer to explain that they have no implications.
Correct.
when they are sponsoring you in this program.
Yes, we will help you by calling the employer and explaining the employer the process. This is a process that is you are only able to do this process with an employer that's within the United States. So that's one thing that you need to make sure, that you find an employer inside the United States. The labor certification can be done from anywhere in the country inside the United States, and can also be done outside of the country from practically any other country. And I also suggest that if you are a foreign worker and you are having trouble finding an employer, a sponsor, then I suggest you start sending your resumes in to wherever you can apply. And there's some websites and some job postings that do refer and say that it is for a labor certification.
But the best way to search for an employer is with your family. If you are not here in the United States, with your family, with your friends, with everybody here in the United States, to find you an employer to apply for the program, because you have to find out and to expand your network in order to find an employer in the United States. In our office specifically, we do not provide employers, because as I was a government specialist for this former specialist of this program in Tallahassee, and the assessor of all the lawyers, they in Tallahassee and Washington, they trained me, and it was in between the laws and regulations of this program. If you do labor certification, you cannot provide an employer, because it means that you are making a position for somebody specifically, so that the law is tailoring, because you are fabricating a position for somebody specific. That's why we do not provide employers.
Correct. And let's just remember that the visas are temporary. The labor certification, it gives you direct access to permanent residence. This also includes your family. So it would be your spouse, your children under the age of 21.
No matter.
If they are close to passing the age of 21, once you have your case certified, your labor certification certified, and you do your petition for permanent residencies, your child that is close to the age of 21, their age will pause. It will freeze, so that then they could be included in the process. Now, if the children are over 21, they would either have to wait for the family to have permanent residency, so that then they could do a family petition, or they can start a labor certification themselves and start getting the process, because this is a timely process that can take some time.
If you are outside of the country, in any countries around the world, including Cuba, and you never had a visa to come to the United States, once this program is approved by the Department of Labor, we request you and your family in a council residency. So you're gonna come here to the United States within the permanent residency, and in the airport, you and your family are gonna receive a working permit, Social Security, and a parole until you receive your permanent residency here in the United States.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do anything but come to the United States directly, and here you're gonna receive the permanent residency. And listen well, very well. Listen, if you don't have any visa to come to the United States, once this program is approved, we bring you within the permanent residency with your family.
That's right. And let's just bring out the facts here. The employer is going to have to pay for the entire process. So meaning the employer will pay the agent the fees for us as an agency to assist the employer throughout the whole process. We will also be able to assist in some short, small, simple way the alien by giving them information about how the process is going to be handled. What we guarantee is that we will also, before we start the process, is we will be checking to make sure that the employer has substantial income for the future work position that the employer will put out. Because if the employer does not have substantial net income, then when you get down the road to your petition of permanent residence, it will be denied because the USCIS will look at that employer's gains and they will see that the employer does not make enough and he will not be able to pay for the future work position.
And that's why the whole collective here, all the specialists, they make analysis of your case in a specific, and we analyze if your employer, your prospective employer, they have the economy in order to bring you over to process the whole case, and you're gonna have the final solution, which is the permanent residency. But for that reason, we have to check their income tax to see if they have enough earnings in the year in order to pay your future salary, because the Department of Immigration, they want the employer to demonstrate that they have enough earnings, net earnings, in order to claim you as a future employer, and he's gonna be able and available to pay your future salary.
Yes, remember that the federal code regulations for the Department of Labor and foreign labor certifications, it describes that the employer bears the burden of the labor certification process, meaning the employer is the one who's gonna have to put advertisements out and pay for the advertisements, and the employer will have to do the recruitment himself. How does it start? It's very simple, but I'm gonna explain it to you in a fast way because today we're gonna make the video a little bit shorter. So the employer will come to us and he will ask us to start the process. He will come with us with a job title and the job description, and once we receive that, we will request a prevailing wage. The prevailing wage is made to demonstrate to the certifying officers in Atlanta that the wages and the working conditions are not adversely affected in any way.
And they have to be honored by the employer.
Correct. So let's say the labor certification is certified. You have your permanent residency. The foreign worker or alien is required to work for that employer for a certain amount of time.
9 months.
Say 9 months. Once you do work those 9 months, you may already start venturing out and looking for another work position.
Keeping the pay stubs.
Yes, important to keep your pay stubs.
In 5 years, when you're gonna apply for the American citizenship, maybe the officer is gonna request for you the proof of employment, and if you was paid for the salary that was analyzed by the Department of Labor, which is very important because when you're gonna receive your citizenship, you're not gonna have any problems because you're doing the right things.
Correct. And so how do we demonstrate to the Department of Labor and to USCIS that a foreign worker or an alien has taken the job of a U.S. citizen who is qualified for that future position? So we start with, obviously the employer gave us the job title and the job description. We start immediately filing the prevailing wage. The prevailing wage is sent to the National Prevailing Wage Center, where it is in Chicago, and it will take them around 4 to 6 months. It could be a little bit different, and it's around 4 to 6 months for them to approve the salary and come back with an official salary. We will gather that official salary, and we would immediately start placing advertisements online at the state workforce where that future work position will be. He would also put newspapers out, and what that does is it has resumes come into the employer's office. The employer then will gather all the resumes, and he will do what is called a recruitment interview, and he will also have a recruitment results. What that means is the employer will be stating in a document the reasons why the candidates were not selected for that future work position. Whether it could be they didn't meet the minimum education, they didn't meet the minimum experience, or the minimum amount of skills needed for that future work position. So once the employer is finished with the recruitment results, then we will be pretty much finished filing and be finished and ready to file the ETA Form 9089. That's the form for the labor certifications. We fill out the form and send it to the Department of Labor in Atlanta. That is the National Processing Center. Your case will be designated a certifying officer. He will start reviewing the documentation. This may take around 460 days for them to come back and let us know if the case is certified, if they just want a little more information. And once your case is certified, that's it. It's green light. You start filing your petition for permanent residence. And remember, this is a very important step. Once your case is certified, you have to file your petition for permanent residency, because if you do not, then your labor certification will expire and you will have to start the whole process
That's
again.
why it's absolutely mandatory that you file your I-140 in front of the Department of Immigration. First, because you're gonna have a case already inside of the immigration, and secondly, you're gonna be in the position to request your permanent residency within your family in the term that the category is gonna be approved. Because now they are actually all the categories are advancing 4 months for the professionals and 2 more for the non-professional.
Correct.
It's accelerating all the process because now there is not that much immigration.
Yes.
So the department is working easier now.
Yes.
Which is a good moment.
What he means is the priority date. A priority date. You might hear this a few times during the labor certification. Once your case is turned into the Atlanta National Processing Center, they will give you a priority date, and that is the date that they will come back with either your case certified or a request for further information.
That's correct. Also, you have to find out, because we assign a specialist to your case in a specific since the very beginning until you obtain the permanent residency, which is it helps a lot to employers and to everybody in order to do the whole cases, and your employer is going to have more facilities in order to request any information, or if they have any doubts, we assist immediately to your employer.
Yes.
So
remember to call us, request information. Even if you don't need it right now, it's good to have that information on you. Maybe you have a relative, maybe you have some friends that need some guidance to permanent residency. Our consultations are free. Give us a call anytime. Again, my name is Raul Sabasco II. I am the owner of Remote Foreign Labor Certification. And I have my father, Dr. Raul Sabasco, and he is the owner of Perm Action. I thank you guys so much for your time.
My suggestion, write us a note by WhatsApp or in our email requesting the information for the employer and you. And if you don't need it, maybe not somebody is going to need it. And tell everybody that this is a possibility to come to the United States directly within your family, or here if you have any status like student, any kind of visa, if you apply to labor to political asylum in the very first 6 months, or any kind of visa, as I told you, you can apply directly to this program to permanent residence in the United States. So thank you for your visit and your attention to our life, and God bless you, everybody.
God
Tomorrow
bless you.
is gonna be in Spanish at 7:30. Mondays in English, on Tuesday in Spanish at 7:30
Eastern time.
Eastern time, Miami time.
That's right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you. Ciao.